So I decided to make another music-related video. This time, I'm going to tell you the tragic life story of Edwin Borsheim, who is honestly probably one of the most troubled and brutal people to ever exist. You'll see why in a few moments. Edwin was born on January 8, 1977 in Norway, but would soon move to the United States with his mom, relocating in the town of Temecula, California. He began listening to punk and metal bands, and he became obsessed, so much so that he would hang band posters all over his room. But then, as the story goes, his dad would one day show up to his room and say to him, "You do know that these bands are just gimmicks, right?" And right then and there, something in Edwin's brain shifted. He thought that if he was ever going to be in a band, it would all be 100% real, no room for gimmicks and fake stuff. And oh man, he really ran with that idea. Other than music, he also really enjoyed wrestling. When he found out that almost everything was fake, he decided to put on his own wrestling shows in his parents' backyard. And guys, listen. The things that these dudes would do to each other is insane. From using barbed wires to using broken glass against each other, you name it. Everything was allowed and everything was done. But hey, let's talk about some music now. Edwin formed the band Cattle Cadaver in 1995. They only released one true record titled Halloween the following year in 1996. I would personally describe the album as like death rock with some crossover trash and even some gothic thrown in. The project never really took off or became mainstream or anything like that, but they did kinda become infamous in the local music scene. More specifically, Edwin became infamous because he wanted to create a shocking performance for the audience, so he would stick safety pins all over his body. And when I say all over his body, I mean it. He would cut himself with broken bottles, put himself inside the barbed wire-like cage. It was honestly something that could come out in the Saw franchise. I'm not even joking, guys. He obviously had profound mental health problems that went unchecked. I mean, the man was living alone in an all-black house, slept in a coffin, completely isolated himself from the outside world. By the way, if you want to hear more details, you can check the 2016 documentary about him titled Dead Hands Dig Deep to get a bigger perspective. So, as you've all probably guessed, stories like this don't really have happy endings, and this one is no exception. Edwin Borsheim would go on to commit suicide in 2017 at the age of 40. That's all for today, guys. See ya.